Romeo and Juliet. Long ago, in the Italian city of Verona, two noble families, the Montagues and the Capulets, lived in constant hatred. No one even remembered how the feud began, but the anger passed down for generations. And as it, every street corner could turn into a battlefield if a Montague and a Capulet crossed paths. Among these families lived a young man named Romeo Montague, handsome, dreamy, and full of emotions. He believed deeply in love. At the same time, in the grand Capulet mansion lived Juliet Capulet, a sweet, innocent, and intelligent girl of just 13 years. One evening, the Capulets held a grand masquerade ball, a night of music, laughter, and dancing. Though uninvited, Romeo sneaked in with his friends just to enjoy and maybe forget his sadness over a girl he thought he loved. As soon as Romeo's eyes met Juliet's, the world around them vanished. Time stopped. Their hearts recognized something their minds could not, a love that felt eternal. They talked briefly, touched hands, and shared a shy kiss, unaware that they belonged to rival families. When they discovered the truth, both were shocked, but neither could turn away from what they felt. Love had already taken root. The very next day, desperate to be together, they went to Friar Lawrence, a kind and wise priest. He was moved by their passion and agreed to marry them secretly, hoping their union might end the family's hatred. And so, in a small chapel, with only a nurse as witness, Romeo and Juliet became husband and wife. Their hearts were filled with hope, but fate had other plans. Later that same day, Romeo's fiery friend, Mercutio, got into a fight with Juliet's cousin, Tybalt. Tybalt. Romeo tried to make peace, now being Tybalt's relative by marriage, but Tybalt didn't know that. The fight turned deadly. Tybalt killed Mercutio. In grief and fury, Romeo forgot everything and struck back, killing Tybalt. As soon as Tybalt fell, Romeo realized what he had done. Soon as he had done, he had killed his wife's cousin. The Prince of Verona arrived and, instead of executing Romeo, banished him from the city forever. That night, before leaving, Romeo secretly came to Juliet's room. They spent their first and last night together, crying and clinging to each other as dawn approached. Before sunrise, Romeo left for Mantua, promising to return. Soon after, Juliet's parents told her she must marry Count Paris, a nobleman they had chosen for her. Juliet refused, but her father grew furious. Her mother turned away. She had no one left, except Friar Lawrence. Desperate, she begged him for help. The friar created a plan, a dangerous one. He gave her a sleeping potion that would make her appear dead for 42 hours. After her family buried her in the Capulet tomb, Romeo would return from Mantua, wake her, and take her away forever. Juliet bravely agreed. That night, she drank the potion and collapsed. The next morning, the Capulet house was filled with screams. Juliet was dead, or so they thought. Her body was placed in the family tomb, surrounded by candles and flowers. Friar Lawrence quickly sent a letter to Romeo explaining the plan, but the messenger never reached him. Instead, Romeo's friend Balthazar arrived with terrible news. Juliet is dead. Romeo's world shattered. Without hesitation, Romeo bought a vial of poison and rode through the night back to Verona. He broke into the Capulet tomb and saw Juliet lying there, pale, still, and beautiful. He held her hand, whispered his love, and wept. Then, believing she was truly gone, he drank the poison and fell beside her. Moments later, Juliet's eyes opened. She saw Romeo's lifeless body and the empty cup. Realizing what had happened, she took his dagger and said softly, "Oh, happy dagger, this is thy sheath." She stabbed herself and died beside him. When the families arrived, they found their children dead, side by side, in love, even in death. Their grief broke their pride. The Montagues and Capulets ended their feud, vowing never to let hatred destroy love again. Friar Lawrence said, "For never was a story of more woe than this of Juliet and her Romeo. Romeo and Juliet's love became immortal, a symbol of passion, purity, and tragedy. They taught the world that true love can conquer everything, even death. But hatred can destroy all that is beautiful. Would you like me to turn this full story into a cinematic YouTube script with voiceover style, emotional tone, and dramatic narration, like a short film script? And that this, it'll sound epic.